is KCAL News Mornings.
The water's been up above our heads where we're standing right here.
The storm is here. Torrential rain has been pounding the Southland as an atmospheric river hits our region. Plus,
I'm not as worried as I was then. They're all ready. Doherty City is just ready.
Southern California communities are bracing for what's expected to be a major rainmaker. And we also have a live look right now at our radar. We have a live picture outside as well where you can see the conditions out there. It is wet, and our Olga Espina has your detailed forecast coming up next. Good morning, I'm Kalina Estrinos. Welcome so much to KCAL News. We are streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. We're so excited to welcome you to our new studio, to our new home. But we have so much to talk about today. We have this bomb cyclone that's upon us right now. Moderate to heavy rain is expected for the next 6 hours. That is starting right now, and I know overnight I just heard all of the rain coming down. It felt like it was nonstop.
Yeah, and you know, it has just been steady rain this morning, and just in time for the debut of KCAL News Mornings, we are tracking a powerful storm. There is a live look at our satellite radar. You can see all that heavy rain becoming very widespread. Really, all of us are going to be impacted by this today. We are talking not just some rain, but also some snow. We have some gusty winds as well as elevated surf along the coastline. So we are going to experience some very treacherous conditions. If you are driving, definitely give yourself a little bit of extra time, because take a look at that satellite radar. We are seeing some pockets of heavy rain, downpours, dangerous conditions, and some very gusty winds for a lot of us. A lot of watches and warnings in place. I'm going to have all those details for you, take you through your morning in just a few minutes. Kalina.
Olga, thank you. 4:02 right now, and we do have team coverage this morning with our reporters spread out across Southern California. We're going to get back to Olga with her forecast coming up in just a second, but we do have breaking news to get to this morning. This is breaking news coming out of Burbank. We're learning that a large tree is down, blocking an Oak Street there and Beechwood Drive. This came down around 11 p.m. last night. Crews there are now working to remove that 40-foot tree, and Burbank police are now rerouting drivers in that area. We'll, of course, track that for you all morning. California, as you know, is under a state of emergency as this latest storm sweeps the state, and we're already seeing some flooding in the West Valley. So we have KCAL's Tina Patel joining us live right now in Van Nuys to show us what's happening where she is. Tina, good morning.
Good morning, Kalina. We are on the northbound or westbound 101 at Van Nuys, right before the connection with the 405. And I'm going to switch to our road cam so you can see we are right behind a Caltrans truck that is actually pulled over and closed a lane here because of the flooding on the 101. Now, just in front of that truck, we can see a Caltrans worker. It looks like they might be trying to clear a storm drain or get something so the water can start flowing down the storm drain and actually off of the roadway. But right now they've got this lane, right, the far right lane, closed while they work. There's a lot of pooling water here. So if you're going to be coming through this part of the 101 just before the 405, just want to give yourself a little bit of extra time, move over into the more left lanes to give these crews room to work. We have been driving around this morning, both on the freeways and on the surface streets, and the water is starting to pool in many areas. So we say it all the time when we have this kind of weather. If you are having to commute, we want you to give yourself extra time. Keep an eye on the roadways around you because there is some water that's starting to pool up. We're going to continue to drive around and see what we can find, warn you of the trouble spots so you know what you do as you head out the door this morning. Right now, we'll send it back to you.
Tina, thank you. An intense watch underway right now in San Gabriel Valley this morning. Rescue crews there are gearing up, and some homeowners are now putting up sandbags or hitting the road. KCAL's Cara Finstra and Doherty with the latest there. Cara, good morning.
Good morning. Yellow alert this morning, actually until tomorrow morning. You can see some of the K-rails here that have been put into place. There are about 25 homes here along Mill Canyon. You can see some of them here that are under that yellow alert. Volunteers went door to door to these homes yesterday, warning them that the hillsides above, which were scarred by the fish fire, could give way during today's rains. Now, they are not expecting major mud flows, but Parked cars, trash cans not allowed on the street because they could become very dangerous if floodwaters move them. All right, take a look over in Azusa. Firefighters got their swift water rescue equipment ready to go. They do have extra crews patrolling all of the area burn scars throughout the San Gabriel Valley. Sandbags also have been put around vulnerable areas. Here in Duarte, neighbors remember the issues a major mud flow caused back in 2016 after a fire.
Not the very last storm, but the storm before this one, it poured. And I didn't think anything of it. I went into my backyard to pull some plants, and I fell in a sinkhole. All the way down to my knee here. So I'm not as worried as I was then. They're all ready. Duarte City is just ready.
And you can see some light rain coming down right now, some heavier rain. When I woke up, I live here in the San Gabriel Valley this morning, could really hear it coming down. It has let up during the early morning hours, but again, starting to fall at this point, and we are expecting much more today. So if you are going to be on the roads, be careful. Back to you.
Cara, thank you. And just like she mentioned, driving is going to be tough out there this morning. It already is. The roads are super slick with all of the rain there. So KCAL's Rick Montanez continues our live team coverage along the 15 in the Cajon Pass with a look at the conditions there. Rick, good morning.
Kalina, good morning. Yeah, really wet, slick conditions out here, and we'll show you the road camera right now. This is on the 15. We are heading north, just north of the 215-15 interchange here. So you can see how slick things are and how difficult the visibility is. We also just went through a patch of fog, so you're dealing with a couple of things if your commute goes through here. And just a few moments ago over near Glen Helen Parkway, we saw a spin out, a single car crash. CHP was already responding to that. So there is difficult driving here. The freeway is wet, lots of puddles, so you want to take it easy if you're heading out. We also saw a sign on the those overhead signs on the 210 warning severe weather, avoid travel until Thursday night. So that is coming from Caltrans. At this point, conditions are slick. We're not seeing much in the way of any very crashes yet, but we have seen that one spin out, and certainly traffic is starting to build. So plan some extra time. Reporting live on the Cajon Pass, Rick Montanez, KCAL News.
Rick, thank you so much. And because of the dangerous conditions, Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency across the entire state. That will now free up resources and also allows Newsom to call on the National Guard and also funds for possible repairs. It also opens up the Emergency Operations Center where everything is monitored in absolute real time. And the last time a storm of this caliber hit California, 23 people died. This happened when a wall of mud, boulders, and debris ripped through Montecito. We have images and video on your screen here. This was in 2018. Now, last night, evacuation orders were issued for parts of Montecito, and yesterday, volunteers were there helping to fill sandbags.
We want to help our local community, and we know what happened a few years ago, and so we just want to be able to prepare our residents.
Evacuation orders are also in place across other burn areas in Santa Barbara County. And up north in the Bay Area, swift water team rescues have already been called out because of this system. You can see firefighters here pulling a homeless man. That's the center of your screen. This happened in Los Gatos Creek in San Jose. This is after he fell into that current last night. Now, according to the man's girlfriend, he was trying to grab some of their belongings when he then slipped and fell inside. Fire and rescue crews were able to throw him a rope and pull him out. And thankfully, we've learned that he appeared to be unharmed. Now, in the meantime, closer to home, both LA County Fire and LA Fire Departments have additional swift water rescue crews ready to go. They'll be watching the normal hotspots very, very closely, including the LA River, Sepulveda Basin, and Hanson Dam. And an extra helicopter is also now on standby to assist with possible efforts today. And back in the Bay Area last night, a family was trapped in their car after a large tree fell on top of it. Crews there had to cut the tree into smaller pieces with chainsaws just to rescue them. Thankfully, no one was injured in that incident. Now, in the meantime, in another part of the city, a tree actually did fall down onto a person. Firefighters were able to perform similar rescue efforts in this one, cutting up that tree and taking the person to a trauma center. And we have learned that that person is in critical condition. And 2 people have now died because of the storm. A baby was killed by a tree in Sonoma, and a 19-year-old lost control after hitting a patch of standing water. Jared Hill has more on the storm's impact.
We have to just evacuate. They just said that the county, just said that we have to leave.
People in this Ventura County RV park had to move quickly to higher ground after forecasters warned the storm could drop up to 10 inches of rain on the area.
We anticipate that this may be one of the most challenging and impactful series of storms to touch down in California in the last 5 years.
This satellite photo shows the monster storm's magnitude. Near Sacramento, roads are still flooded from a New Year's Eve storm that breached levees.
That water comes up real high again with those kind of flows, we're going to start having trouble.
The ground is already so saturated, trees that have endured 3 years of severe drought are toppling over. This one landed on a car in San Francisco. Firefighters rescued the people inside. Wind is also picking up. A gust brought down this gas station on it. There's also concern about widespread power outages.
You don't realize how much you miss when you don't have electricity.
In Montecito, Marco Farrell was ready to evacuate. A storm 5 years ago unleashed a torrent of waist-high mud and debris into his home. This time, he's taking no chances.
We're just going to get out of the way, let nature do its thing, and we'll be back tomorrow.
But through all the dark clouds, there is a silver, snowy lining. The snowpack in the Sierra Nevada mountains, vital to the state's water supply, is now 174% of the average for this date.
And our storm coverage continues this morning right here on KCAL. Time now 4:11. We also have this, another royal rift to report today. We'll have more on claims that Prince William hit Harry and why Harry believes his brother and blames his brother for his Nazi uniform fiasco. Also, former child stars make a big comeback at the first film awards of the season. We'll tell you who took the top prize.